Is the phrasal verb buck up used only in British English, not in American English? Is the phrasal verb buck up used only in British English? I've never heard an American use the word buck up to mean cheer up. I suspect the phrasal verb is only used in British English.
Answer: nope. Your impression appears to be an instance of the locality illusion, in which if you yourself don't use something, you overly generalize personal disuse to a much broader community via negative confirmation bias. It's a form of cognitive bias that leads you to draw the wrong conclusion. In corpora. For while BNC, the British National Corpus, shows 18 hits, such as "My eyes hurt. I've got earache. I wish it would buck up and be Monday. Lousy dump. Oh, go on, then. But darling, do buck up, eh? Hang my head in shame over the Bill Clinton sex scandal. I say, buck up, Bill, if you're man enough for Jennifer, you're man." Maybe this song will catch on, but I think Dino needs to buck up a bit for it to get sung some more. But COCA, the corpus of contemporary American English, shows 135 hits, including many from the last few years. How about the macho, construction guy father who tells his son to buck up, show some spunk, quit whining about the small stuff, climb the... This was the first of 3 instances in which sisters told their brothers to basically buck up. Sansa Stark, Marjorie Tyrell, and Yara Greyjoy all had to do. "Show a little more joy," thought Mr. Burdick, "buck up and smell the roses, for heaven's sake." Matthew laughed also, a laugh that said, "Buck up. For eyes. This is life. Isn't it great?" In the OED. It appears to be common enough. The OED lists 10 completely different entries for the verb to buck, 10 different headwords. This one, the buck up version, is marked dial, or colloquial, and dates from 1854. It has 2 primary senses. The first is a synonym for dress up, with only a pair of citations from the 19th century, and the second with 2 subsenses, each with many citations, quite a few from the 20th century. In buck up, trans, and INTR for reflection to dress up.to buck up.a. INTR to cheer up, be encouraged. Also trans. In causal sense.b. INTR to make an effort, to brace up, to hurry up. As for popularity, it's in their frequency band 4. This word belongs in frequency band 4. Band 4 contains words which occur between 0.1 and 1.0 times per million words in typical modern English usage. Such words are marked by much greater specificity and a wider range of register, regionality, and subject domain than those found in bands 8 to 5. However, most words remain recognizable to English speakers and are likely to be used unproblematically in fiction or journalism. Examples include overhang, life support, register, rewrite, nutshell, candlestick, rodeo, embouchure, insectivore. One of the earlier citations is from Barrere and Leland Dictionary of Slang, Jargon and Cant, published in Edinburgh in 1889 and 1890, 2 volumes, and an even earlier gloss for it is given in the 1875 Lancashire Glossary. In Google Ngrams. Here's a Google Ngram comparing US usage with UK usage. There might be a bit more relatively frequency in Britain during the 1980s than in America, but for the most part, the 2 corpora show the same relative frequency throughout their active life. Conclusion. So the term may well originate in the 19th century from one or another dialect from the north of England or from Scotland, but the 20th century citations given are not particularly regional, and the abundance of recent examples in COCA shows that this sense of to buck up is alive and well in contemporary American English. You just haven't personally heard or read it used. Like I said, that's probably just the locality illusion fueling negative confirmation bias.
Americans also use buck up in the sense of cheer up, take heart. This isn't another buck up, Buster, it'll be okay article. Snow College, Ephraim, Utah, a snowdrift buck up, America, it's going to get better. Headline, Washington Post, 7 and 9 a 2013 buck up, Democrats, headline, New York Times, the 21st of June 2017. In another sense, however, buck up means quit complaining, whining, feeling sorry for yourself, etc. Here, for instance, is your polar opposite, a man married to an American woman who has never heard the expression in the UK. My lovely wife, from Portland, Maine, sometimes uses the phrase buck up when I think the meaning is similar to suck it up or just to deal with the issue. We have run into at least one other person, from Iowa, who instantly recognized this phrase and said his dad used this phrase with him as a young man. And finally, in the same sense, buck up or stay in the truck. Sarah Palin, half-term governor of Alaska. I suspect this usage is predominantly, if not exclusively, American.
The expression is of British origin, but I think it is common also in AME, see Google Books. The AHD defines the phrasal verb buck up as cheer up, become encouraged, as in buck up. We'll soon have it done, or even the promise of a vacation did not buck her up. This term was first recorded in 1844. For example, buck up, suck up, and come back when you foul up, by James Carville, Paul Begala. Buck up. Verb phrase. To cheer up, brace. Immigrant life lets people down as soon as it bucks them up, 1850s plus British schools. The American Dictionary of Slang. Buck, originally a male deer, was used from the 18th century to refer to a man, especially fashionable man, 1725, also used of a male Native American, circa 1800, or Negro, 1835. Buck up, cheer up, is from 1844, probably from the noun and man sense. Etym Online.
I'd had the phrase buck up, buckaroo throughout my childhood in MS.
Americans use buck up too. I won't try to compete with the extensive answer provided by @Trist, but instead will offer this one bit of cultural evidence from 1985 that shows Americans use the phrase. In this instance, it's used to mean cheer up. Curtis Armstrong speaking to John Cusack in Better Off Dead. This URL. Dang, just realized it. Tony beat me to the punch on this in his comment.
Do you want some more dough? Even good luck, that's the story.